Hey y'all, it's your girl Missniecytv, and I'm here to do a review for Zatima Season 2, Episode 11. The episode picks up where it left off with Fatima coming to get her stuff after she told Zach that they were done because he didn't answer about sleeping with Connie. So Fatima comes over to get her stuff, and Zach's first words are, "You lied to me. Fatima, what are your deal breakers? Lying and cheating, right? And Fatima, you lied." And he said, "Angela, that's your friend, right?" "Angela, am I that bad? Am I that bad?" "Yes, I've slept with lots of girls and I have baby moms, but am I that bad?" Fatima's like, "No, you're not bad. You're just bad because you won't let me love you." Zach is like, "What? I let you love me all the time." Fatima's like, "By doing what, sex?" He's like, "Yeah, that's part of it." Fatima's like, "You love her too then?" Zach is like, "Who?" She's like, "Connie." He's like, "Yeah, I love her. And I have her." Then that's when Fatima takes it upon herself to slap Zach so hard across his face that she slapped the taste out of his mouth. He's like, "Fatima, you gonna stop hitting me. You gonna stop hitting me. Fatima, you need to go." Zach starts throwing stuff, breaking stuff, kicking stuff. And Fatima's like, "You're doing all of this because of your mom, and how you're treating me is because of your mom." Zach is like, "My mom is off limits. Do not talk about her. Do not talk about her." He's screaming, he's yelling, he's crying. And he keeps telling Fatima that she needs to go. But Fatima takes it upon herself to sit down in the chair, throw the ring at Zach's face. And I'm like, "Fatima, now you know you was wrong for that." Zach's like, "Since you want to throw my ring, leave." But before she leaves, stands up and tells Zach, "I've been having a lot of guys that are on me, but I've been keeping them away out of respect for you." But she said, "No more. Since you don't respect me, F my respect for you." And she walks out the door. And Zach is screaming at the top of his lungs. It's the next morning, and Fatima goes over to her parents' house to get some clothes because she left Zach's house with nothing after that heated argument, and tells Fatima that she was just on her way over to the house to apologize to Fatima for how she acted at the dinner. And Fatima's like, "There's no need to because we broke up." Mona asks why they broke up. Is it because of the dinner? Fatima's like, "No, it's complicated." She's like, "Well, he didn't put his hands on you, did he?" He stands in and he says, "Our daughter wouldn't be with somebody who does that." Fatima reiterates and says, "Yeah, I wouldn't." They asked how heated did the argument get, and Fatima's like, it was best that I left when I did." Fatima says, "I don't want to talk about this anymore. I just came to get some stuff." And then Mona's like, "That stuff is old. I don't want you wearing that stuff to work." Fatima's like, "I'll just get some stuff out of storage, and I'll be staying at Angela's." When Fatima leaves, Mona, with her smart mouth, says, "I'm glad they broke up. That boy was no good." Bryce comes in to talk to Zach, but Bryce sees that Zach is in the mood, but he still tells Zach that there's a deal on the table, and he thinks that Zach and him should take it, and it's with somebody credible. Zach goes, "Gary?" Bryce is like, "No, but it's somebody else, and it looks like a very good deal, and we should take it." Bryce says, "I see that you're in a mood." And he's like, "Are we ever gonna get past this?" Zach is like, "No, but we could be cordial though." Zach is like, "Bryce, let me ask you a question. Do you think I sabotage things?" This is like, "Let me figure out how to say this, because if I say this, you're gonna think I'm talking about myself. But Zach, you do sabotage things because you're scared of who you're gonna become. People who sabotage things believe that they can do anything, and they're scared of their potential because they know that they can do anything, but the people that are around them are smaller than what they believe in." Zach and I both were like, "Wow, that's deep. You really had me thinking on that one." Bryce was speaking facts then. Then we got Twiddledee and Twiddledum. Tony and Nate come into Zach's office to talk to him and to check on him because they heard that him and Fatima broke up. Nate goes, "The streets is talking, and everybody on the street says you're single. People in the streets know you're single already. They just broke up yesterday." But Nate goes, Fatima put single on her profile. Zach is like, what? Yeah, she put single on her profile. He's like, what is the real reason y'all broke up? Zach is like, Fatima, but then Zach says, we broke up because of my mom, and my mom told Fatima that I slept with Connie, and Fatima believed it. Tony's like, well, did you sleep with Connie? Nate chimes in, he's like, yeah, he did. Tony's like, no, he didn't, because he was only up there for 10 minutes. And Zach and I both know that we are not 10-minute men like Lori brags about with you. And I'm like, oh, dang, why y'all had to do Nate like that? Tony's like, he would have told us if he did. Anyway, Nate goes, well, I think you should come out with us. I know this girl, and she's doing open mic night, but she gets free bottles and tables, and I think you should come with us instead of sitting around here sulking. Zach is like, I'm not sulking. But they're like, Zach could attack, and he agrees to go out with them. Angela's, Fatima walks in and she's like, you got something to drink? Angela's like, yeah, grab a glass. Then they sit down and then Fatima's like, you got something stronger than that actually? Angela's like, yeah, I got some weed. Fatima says, roll that up. Angela's like, yeah, of course, because we deserve it. Fatima's like, you know what else we deserve? A night out. And of course, Angela's down. But she's not expecting Fatima's next move. Fatima calls Paul and says, hey, Paul, you want to go out? Paul's, of course, like, sure. Fatima's like, you got a friend for Angela? Angela's like, make sure he's fine like you. And then Fatima gets off the phone. She says, I pulled out all my sexy dresses and I'm getting back to me. Angela's like, you sure? Fatima's like, yeah. Back at Zach's house, Fatima's dad comes over, Mr. Henry, to talk to Zach. And Zach is like, she's not here, so you can leave now. Mr. Henry's like, I came over to talk to you, actually. Henry is distracted by Deja. He's like, hey, my name is Henry and I'm a Capricorn. I'm like, Mr. Henry, if you don't go sit down somewhere. Zach tells Deja, you seem to be moving pretty fine to me. Deja's like, so did your girl get served yet? Did you tell her? Zach is like, yeah, okay. Then she sees Mr. Henry and she's like, what do you do, Grandpa? Mr. Henry goes, I'm a retired lawyer and judge. Well, that's your car. He's like, yeah. Deja's like, if you ever want to come down to the pool, I'm there. Mr. Henry starts trying to talk to Deja again. And Zach's like, you know what? Actually, we can go inside because at first he told Mr. Henry that they could talk outside. But seeing his interaction with Deja, Zach told Mr. Henry that he can come inside. Zach and Mr. Henry go inside and they sit down and Mr. Henry's like, so I came over here to talk to you about my daughter, son. Zach is like, oh, okay. Mr. Henry's like, I heard you two broke up. Zach is like, yeah, we did. Mr. Henry's like, my daughter loves you. And what was this I heard about glass breaking? Zach is like, oh, nothing. Mr. Henry's like, well, Fatima's mom did the same thing to me over a girl like your neighbor there. Like, I see where Fatima gets it from now. But no, he sits down and he tells Zach that my daughter loves you, and when she's with you, she's with you. Zach is like, I can't really say that right now. Mr. Henry's like, look, I know my daughter. Zach is like, she lied to me about a therapist, and she got it from a guy that hits on her. Mr. Henry's like, and what is so bad about seeing a therapist? Us as black men, we need to see therapists because we have a lot going on, and sometimes we just need to hear ourselves speak. To tell somebody else about our problems because we need somebody to talk to too. Mr. Henry's like, you're just like me. Zach is like, what? Mr. Henry's like, I'm a nigga from south side of Chicago. Zach is surprised. Zach is like, so you be code switch? Mr. Henry's like, yeah, I code switch because my wife doesn't like this side of me. But it's all here, I just don't bring it out. And I'm like, Mr. Henry. But Mr. Henry's like one of my favorite characters now. Henry also tells Zach that he's scared. Zach is like, I keep hearing the same thing. Mr. Henry's like, if people keep telling you the same thing, that means it's true. But as far as this conversation goes, it never happened. He tells that Zach needed that conversation in the moment because it looked like he took what Mr. Henry said to heart. I'm like, aw. Zach finally has some sort of father figure in his life, even if it's not his own. And we have Fatima and Angela on their double date with Paul and Paul's friend. And Fatima's like, you did a good job hooking them up. Paul's like, oh yeah? I can hook us up too. And I'm sorry what happened with Zach. Fatima's like, no you're not. Then Angela chimes in like, Fatima, we have a problem. Because she overhears Belinda's voice. Because this is actually Belinda's open mic night. At the same time, though, Angela sees Zach and Tony and Nate standing in the corner. And as Fatima gets up to leave, Belinda says, oh, is that my girl, Fatima and Angela? You know that me and Fatima used to be girls until I did some messed up stuff and we're not girls anymore. But I hope that after me calling her on stage to sing, because she used to kill talent shows, I just really hope that this can help me get my girl back. Come up here, Fatima. Fatima doesn't want to sing, but then she sees Zach and she says, F it, I'm singing. Before Fatima sings, she grabs the mic and she says, have you ever loved somebody so much that they hurt you so bad that you just say F it? She's like, that's where I am now. Then she starts singing Falling by Alicia Keys. And baby, she hit them vocals up. She didn't leave no crumbs. But you could tell that she was singing that song from the deepest parts of her soul. Because at certain parts, she was even pointing at Zach. And I'm like, you didn't have to do that man like that. You did not have to embarrass him like that. And you could see the look on Zach's face. He looked so sad, mad, angry, and embarrassed. Because after she got done singing, she grabs Paul's hand and they leave out together. And she made sure that Zach seen it. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell notifications. Bye.